Hey, I'm Kate from the Small Things blog. This is part 3 of my all-time favorites video series. I started with my favorite hair products of all time, and then I did my favorite makeup products of all time, and now I'm getting into the skincare side of things. I'm currently 39 weeks pregnant, and if you aren't aware from other times I've talked about this, my breathing is like straight up a joke. So if you're confused or curious as to why I'm breathing like I just ran a marathon, it's because the baby's basically jammed up into my ribs and it's making it kind of difficult to breathe. So I'm going to try and get through this video and not make it distracting that I can barely breathe, and just talk to you about the favorite skincare products that I've used for years and that I really, really love. So I don't have a particular order I want to start with, but let's just go ahead and jump into it. Probably the product that I've been using the longest are these Pond's Original Refresh Wet Cleansing Towelettes. So these, I mean, it's probably been a good 10 years that I've been using these, and they're the only ones, as far as like a wet towelette goes, that doesn't irritate my skin. I've used other brands, I've used generic brands of them, but I always return to the Pond's one because my skin just works really well with it. And what I do is I'll turn the water on in the bathroom to pretty warm and just quickly like swipe the cloth under there so I have a little extra suds, because I find that they're not super wet in the package, which is fine, but if I get the cloth really wet and then just lay it on my eyes, it'll loosen up my eye makeup and mascara a little bit better than if I were to just rub straight out of the package. So if you use a towelette at all, adding a little bit of water and then kind of rubbing it together will give you a little bit more suds and therefore make it a little bit more effective. But this is great for taking off even waterproof makeup. My eyeliner is waterproof, and I think sometimes my foundation's like water resistant, depending on what I'm wearing. Anyway, it's great. I really love it and have been using it for years. Another product that I've been using for a really long time is this refining serum. This is obviously the generic brand from Target, and I will include a link. I believe it's Oil of Olay. That's the original brand that I use, but I found that this generic brand is pretty darn similar. I'll include a link to that on the blog post on thesmallthingsblog.com if you want to see what that product is. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but it's a really lightweight moisturizer. It's a serum, which I tend to like better than face creams as far as weight and residue goes, but no irritation or anything like that. It's really gentle, and it's great for dry skin or normal skin. I don't have oily skin, so I'm not sure how it would work for that, but it will hydrate and keep my skin looking sort of fresh and alive without making it feel like I have a layer of lotion all over my face. So if I had to pick a moisturizer to use for the rest of my life, this would be it. Okay, let's talk about a few like cleansing products here. My favorite cleanser of all time is the Purity by Philosophy. This is just a basic, keep it simple cleanser. It doesn't, like, what I like about it is it doesn't claim to do a million things, and therefore you're like coating your skin in a million chemicals. Like it removes your makeup, it cleans your skin, it's super gentle. I've never had the feeling of like squeaky clean skin, which is not ever what you want to feel, because that typically means your skin's a little bit too dried out. But it's soft and hydrating. It works well if you use a Clarisonic Mia. That's typically when I use this, or just a Clarisonic. It doesn't have to be the Mia. Or you can just use it with your fingers and rub it in. So this has been a favorite cleanser. And then sort of working with that, my favorite exfoliator is the Micro Delivery Exfoliating Wash. I've been using this for years as well. This is a 30-second cleansing mini peel that can be connected in the shower, in the bath, or at your bathroom sink. So I always use this in the shower because I find that exfoliating in the shower's sort of maximizing the effectiveness, because your pores are a little bit more open and your skin's a little softer, and hopefully you don't have any other like makeup or junk on your skin. So you're really exfoliating the skin instead of exfoliating like the makeup off, if that makes sense. What I really like about this one is it's not rough on the skin. Like, I don't know if you've ever used the apricot scrub. I don't know, St. Ives I think makes the apricot scrub. That will straight up exfoliate your face and you will not have a single dead skin cell remaining but like it's a little bit harsh, and it can be, if you use it too much, it can actually end up creating like these tiny, maybe not even visible to the naked eye, cuts on your face because it's such a rough exfoliator, and then those can get irritated and it can lead to breakouts. So don't quote me on any of this. This is just kind of what I've learned in the beauty world, that that's just a little bit too rough for the majority of skin types. Nothing against St. Ives, but what I like about this one is you still feel like you get some grit, but it doesn't feel too harsh or aggressive on your skin. Like I always feel fresh and like I've got sort of a new layer of skin after I use this product, but it's not to the point where like, oh, I ripped half my face off with an exfoliator that maybe is otherwise too harsh. And a product like this can also be used if you use a Clarisonic. I don't use my Clarisonic every single day. It kind of depends on when I'm in the mood for it, frankly, and my skin has been pretty predictably clear these days, so I'm trying not to go in and change anything, but I like using a Clarisonic with both of these products. They've been a really good sort of match together. My favorite under eye cream, this was kind of hard for me to pick because I like trying a lot of under eye creams, and I feel like I'm not at the point yet where I'm visibly seeing a difference in like wrinkle prevention. The majority of the difference I see when I'm using different eye creams is how well my under eye area is hydrated. And I've been using the Origins Ginseng Refreshing Eye Cream to brighten and depuff for a long time. And it's sort of iridescent, and you can still see there's a fair amount of product left for using this every day. But I like the little iridescence when I'll put this on at night, and then I'll also put just a little swipe of it on in the morning. But it helps brighten, the iridescent part of it does. And so I feel like it makes my under eye circles look a little less horrendous. And then another product that I like that's a little bit splurgy, I guess. This wouldn't be, this to me, it's the Cuddly Beauty Elixir, and it's just a spray that you mist all over your face. It's not something that I think is a daily essential or anything like that, but as far as beauty elixirs go, this would be my favorite. I haven't tried a ton, I've tried a few others. And I remember when the first like concept of spraying your face with something like this came out, and Evian had like their spray that I thought, well, that seems dumb because you're spraying your face with water, but it's just a really light mist. And anyway, what I like about this is the smell, for one. Some people don't like the smell of it, but I love it. And I really feel like it refreshes my makeup. Like I have seen a noticeable difference. If I've gone about the whole day and the weather's harsh or something, and my makeup just looks a little bit dry around my nose or right here between my eyebrows, I'll spray this on, and it sort of refreshes the whole deal without having to apply another layer of makeup. So this is a all-time favorite as far as beauty elixirs go, but again, not like a daily use sort of thing. As far as primers go under my makeup, my favorite is the Arbonne primer. I think it's called the Perfecting Primer. I'll include a link to it in the blog post. I don't have a bottle here for you because I ran out and apparently I tossed it. I meant to keep it for this video, but I guess I'm nesting and I'm throwing everything away. The closest dupe to that would be the Laura Mercier foundation primer. I've been using this since I ran out of the Arbonne, and not because I don't like the Arbonne one anymore. I still really love it. But I like to try new products every once in a while, and I like to find something that's as close to what I was using before as possible. It's kind of like this mission that I set myself on. And this is a fantastic primer as well. So if I had to pick between the two, I really feel like I couldn't go wrong with either. So primer is something I use absolutely every single day. If it's a little bit humid or the air is not quite so dry here, I will only use primer and not use serum or moisturizer. But in the winter, when my skin gets a little bit more dry, I'll usually use a serum like the one I mentioned earlier on in this video, and then put the primer on top of that. So it just kind of depends on what the weather's doing. But those are two of my all-time favorite primers. I've tried a lot of different primers that I like, but again, all-time favorite video, so I had to kind of nail it down to at least two. Okay, so I know that's kind of short and sweet, but I try and keep my skincare relatively simple. I don't like to change it up too much because I don't want to irritate or mess up my skin. And again, these are like the lifetime, I've been using them forever. I could do an entire video on like products I've tried that I really love, and usually those end up in my monthly favorites videos if you want to see more of those. But as far as sort of all-time favorites, I can't live without them, these are going to be on the list. If you want to see part 1 or part 2 of this all-time favorites video series, you can search on my blog using the search box. I'll also include a link to both of those videos on the blog post where this video is embedded.